Hello, baseball fans. You're listening to Brothers Broadcasting on MLBbro.com. I'm your host, Timothy McKain, and I have the great pleasure of interviewing former professional pitcher LaTroy Hawkins, who's played for teams like the Minnesota Twins, the Baltimore Orioles, and the New York Yankees, just to name a few. LaTroy is known not only just for his great pitching style and skill, but he's actually pitched 1,042 games, which is the 10th most in Major League Baseball history. LaTroy, thank you for giving us a few moments of your time here at MLBbro. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, MLBbro, for having me on. And let's get this little interview started. Can't wait.
So I want to start off with a statement, actually, that your mother made when she, in an article that was written about you with the Minnesota Sport, I believe, in 2003. He talked about it all the time. He talked about how he was going to be a baseball player or a basketball player. Whatever he was doing, he was going to do it well and be the best at it.
Well, first off, I was too scared of her to go out there and gangbang anyway, because I was afraid she was going to do worse to me than the police. So that's one of the reasons. But the earliest I can remember, I was just in love with sports. I always loved the competition, and that came from her because she watched all sports. She watched baseball, basketball, football, soccer, tennis, hockey. Like there was no sport that came on that we didn't watch. And growing up where we grew up in Gary, Indiana, which is right on Lake Michigan, I grew up 25 minutes from Comiskey Park. So, White Sox. So all our professional feeds came out of Chicago. White Sox, Cubs, Blackhawks, Bears, and the Bulls. So just being around her and seeing her love for sports, and I think that's why I got the love for the competition and wanting to play a sport.
What were some of your favorite players growing up, and did you implement any of the style, swag, confidence into your style?
So all our sports came out of Chicago, and the Cubs. I can't say that I was like when you're from a big city like that, it's two teams. I got to pick a team like you. I see what team you chose. You picked the Yankees, but I didn't pick a team. I like the White Sox and I like the Cubs. And I had it good growing up where I grew up at because the Cubs played all day games and the White Sox played night games. So I would run home after school. Got out of school at 3:30. I would get home about 3:42 to 3:45 so I can see the end of the Cubs game. And before I went to bed, I had an opportunity to watch the White Sox game. So I had the best of both worlds. I didn't choose a side. I didn't draw a line in the sand. At that age, I enjoyed being able to watch two teams in the same market, one playing the day games and one playing night games. And, I was a huge Lee Smith fan, huge Fergie Jenkins, Leon Durham, Lloyd McClendon, Sean Dunston, Curtis Wilkerson, Jerome Walton. So I was a huge fan of those guys because they look like me and watching Lee Smith come in the game to close out the game and with his Jerry curl and him barely breaking a sweat and making it look like he just rolled out of bed. That's how easy he made it look. So that's where, those are the guys who I wanted to, I looked up to and wanted to be like.
In your 21-year career, you faced some of the greatest baseball players of all time. What was it like going head-to-head against the likes of King Griffey Jr.?
Griffey, he would step out when you got two strikes on him. And he did it a couple times to me. Then I started doing it to him. And, playing a little cat and mouse game. But Griffey does have a home run against me in the Metrodome. Either that inning or the next inning, I get taken out of the game. And I'm upstairs in the clubhouse. And back then at the Metrodome, the clubhouses were right next to each other. The only thing separated the clubhouse was the laundry room. So I'm up in the training room, icing my arm, and their clubhouse guy's name is Troy Mason. He came and got me and said, "Hey, LaTroy, Griffey want to talk to you." And I'm like, "What do you want to talk to me for, man? He just took me deep." I'm sitting in here icing my arm because of Griffey. So I met him in the laundry room. He was like, "Hey, young man, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good, Griffey." He's like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know, why would you throw me a changeup right there?" I was like, I'm thinking it's a setup type of question. I don't know. I'm like, this dude trying to set me up to throw more fastballs. I don't know. So he was like, no, I'm asking you that because your fastball is good enough. Your fastball, you got one of those that, you know, you can pitch off your fastball. You don't need to try to trick guys. And I just don't think that changeup in that situation was a good pitch. You gave me an opportunity to get a hit. He ended up giving me a real good piece of information and confidence that actually stuck with me and to this day.
MLBbro.com, covering black and brown major league.